Hello there, everybody, and today I'm here to review part 3 of Andor. Episodes, I think, 7, 8, and 9. So, these episodes were really good. There's a lot to say, but let's get started. So, episode 7's more about the setup, where Cassian's gonna go to Gormir, and he's assigned to assassinate the admiral who's dating Shirai. I'm still not good at names, but apparently Cassian's sent there by the same guy who assigned him to kill Jin's father, and he's on Yavin 4 as well. So it's nice to see the slow process of the rebellion rising against the Empire. We're like seeing all the characters come together in this big epic episode. But unfortunately, Cassian's girlfriend Blizz is unfortunately leaving Cassian because she's afraid of everything that's been going on for the past few years, since this does time jump about 2 years before New Hope. So that's interesting. But she does leave a note for Cassian, and he feels very devastated by her leaving him. But he has to keep moving forward as he takes the ship all the way to Gormir, where the episode does end. Since this episode is actually pretty short, it's only like 49 minutes from like the other episodes that are like 50 minutes. But episode 8, this is where things get really intense. As for Cassian, he encounters the Gormir massacre that is about to take place. And he is assigned to assassinate, like I said, and he tries to do his best to do what he's told, but it ends up getting interrupted by a crowd of Gormirs trying to protest against the Empire, who are trying to take away their freedom. And so they protest and keep on screaming, as it even de-escalates to some of the crowd singing, which is very different. But once the Empire starts shooting the people, it becomes deadly, as a bunch of people are dying. They're all getting shot to death. It just shows how deadly the Empire is. And just this episode all takes place on Gormir. We also see a group of K9 unit droids that are going to be used to take out the people. But this is, I'm going to get to this in a bit, but Cassian ends up taking one of the droids at the end. But the big thing that happens in this episode is Cassian gets ambushed by Shirai, who, before Cassian can make his move, he ends up getting choked to death by Shirai, and he ends up defeating him by the last second by throwing glass at his face. And the ironic thing is, Shirai was like obsessed with going after Cassian, and when he finally catches up to him all these years later, Cassian has no clue who he is at all. He's like, "Who are you?" But it's too late, as Shirai is literally shot by one of the people on there, and he dies. But it causes the Admiral lady to have a panic attack, and some people thought it was her like getting choked by Darth Vader, but this show is not really showing any Force user characters. There's a little reference of it in the episode, but it's mainly just about the human characters. But Cassian ends up getting saved by one of his comrades, who ends up running over one of the droids when it tries to attack him. And this droid will be relevant later, as Cassian picks him up and is going to take him back to Yavin 4. But the next episode where things get really intense for Cassian, as he teams up with Mon Mothma, who makes a powerful speech on Coruscant about what the Empire is doing and what they're doing is wrong, and how Palpatine is a monster. And it just shows how powerful her character is when making this speech. It becomes relevant later in Star Wars Rebels Season 3, where I literally rewatched Secret Cargo, where it actually references the Gorman Massacre, and now we see it in Andor, which is a nice parallel if you really think about it. We see Mon Mothma's speech, and she is later in Secret Cargo. So I'm going to guess after Andor Season 2, like after this arc, Part 3, we see Mon Mothma team up with the Ghost Crew to take down Thrawn and Governor Price. So that's a nice homage. So definitely check out Secret Cargo if you have a chance, if you're watching Andor, and then watch Star Wars Rebels. But things de-escalate as the Empire views this as protesting. Mon Mothma becomes a traitor to the Empire, and she ends up having to get chased by various stormtroopers. Cassian ends up helping her out, and he literally just murders people on the spot. And he literally takes her to the elevator, and I think the two escape. But when Cassian goes back to Yavin 4, he ends up getting the letter from Blix about how she left him, and apparently something else happened. Apparently the K2 droid has been born, as it's revealed to be K2SO. I'm so happy K2's in this show, and they retconned the Cassian and K2 comic. I've never read that comic. I heard it's not really amazing or anything. It's just a comic that's just kind of out there. But honestly, I don't really care about the retcon. I know if you read the comic, I hope you liked it, but it's still out there. Maybe I don't know if I would check it out if you want to. But, yeah, it's nice to see K2 finally in the show. It's wild that it took till episode 9 to finally have him in the show. But it was kind of random for Cassian to just pick up K2. But they had to throw him in somehow. Honestly, I kind of prefer if he found K2 off screen. But then again, people would probably wonder how he got K2, since some people probably don't even know what that comic was. But whatever. I'm really curious how this show's going to end. It's kind of wild because last season it took me till the Narkina 5 arc to finally get into Andor Season 1. And it finally took me till this arc to finally somewhat be invested with Season 2. Like, the other episodes are not bad at all. It's hard for me to get into Andor since the show is very structured. It kind of forces you to pay attention. But I think this show is really good. So I'd give this episode a 10 out of 10. But there's a lot of arcs when it comes to Cassian in these 3 episodes. He goes from a changed man throughout this whole show, and it really fleshes it out, in my opinion. But I'm really excited for the last 3 episodes. I'm definitely going to review it next week. I can't believe this show's already over, since we're probably not going to get much from Star Wars this 2025, but hopefully in 2026 we'll get a lot more. So, that being said, thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you always.